In spite of being turned back into a Borg, 7 of 9 Jerry Ryan had an ideal Star Trek Picard Season 2 ending where Admiral Jean-Luc Picard, Patrick Stewart, fulfilled an initial promise by Admiral Catherine Janeway, Kate Mulgrew. 7. Her romantic partner, Raffi Musiker, Michelle Hurd, and Cristobal Rios, Santiago Cabrera, helped save the future by destroying the drones Dr. Adam Soong Brent Spiner planned to use to shoot down the Europa mission. With Renee Picard's Penelope Mitchell destiny assured, Star Trek's future is back on track thanks to Picard and his motley crew. As much as Star Trek, Picard Season 2 set out to answer pivotal questions about Jean-Luc Picard, it also placed a great deal of provocative focus on 7 of 9. Of all of Picard's crew, 7 had the biggest shock when she awoke in the alternate timeline created by Q. John D. Lanky. In this reality, 7 never became a Borg, and she was Annika Hansen, the president of the Confederation of Planets. Free of her Borg implants for the first time since she was a child, 7 was surprised how much she enjoyed being human, especially when Picard's crew time traveled back to 2024 Los Angeles. 7 discovered she had an innate talent for reading people, and because she didn't look like a cyborg, people had an easy time trusting her. Oddly, 7 found a new kind of happiness in her own skin in spite of the temporal crisis they were in the midst of. However, 7 was mortally wounded in battle with the Borg Queen, Annie Wershing. But Dr. Agnes Jurati, Alison Pill, pleading for her friend's life, resulted in the Queen restoring 7 back to being part Borg. Among the numerous surprises in Star Trek, Picard's Season 2 finale, Farewell, one of the best is 7 of 9 finally becoming a part of Starfleet. After Q returned Picard and his crew to their Borg crisis in 2401, Jean-Luc used his authority as a Starfleet admiral to give 7 a field commission. Earlier in Star Trek, Picard Season 2, 7 confessed to Raffi that after the USS Voyager returned to Earth, 7 was rejected from Starfleet because she was a Borg. Admiral Janeway stood up for 7 and nearly quit in protest, but 7 chose, instead, to leave Earth and become a Fenris Ranger. But thanks to Admiral Picard, 7's potential as a Starfleet officer has been fulfilled at last. Even better, 7 briefly captained the USS Stargazer, and she helped lead Starfleet's team up with the Borg Queen to save the Quadrant from a galactic incursion that created a new transwarp conduit. Of course, 7 suddenly becoming a Starfleet officer leads to intriguing questions. Jean-Luc didn't specify what rank 7 is, although she immediately assumed the captain's chair on the Stargazer, and Commander Raffi Musiker slid neatly into a first officer role for her. There's no telling yet whether Starfleet will actually give 7 of 9 command of the Stargazer or any Federation starship. Amusingly, 7 taking over the Stargazer in Captain Rios' absence continued her habit of inheriting Chris's starships, since 7 did the same to La Sirena when Rios returned to Starfleet. But even more important than 7 becoming a Starfleet officer at last is the profound change for the better the reclaimed Borg has undergone in Star Trek Picard Season 2. 7's life after Voyager returned to Earth was difficult, and she was alone and unhappy for decades. After Starfleet rejected her, 7 spent years seeing the worst the galaxy had to offer with the Fenris Rangers. But joining Picard's found family has been a boon to 7, especially because she found love with Raffi. By the end of Star Trek Picard Season 2's finale, it was a joy to see 7 happy, surrounded by her loved ones while drinking at 10 Forward, which was the culmination of the many new ways Jeri Ryan evolved her iconic character. 7 is also, at last, comfortable with being part Borg. No doubt, this buoyant new 7 is a sight Admiral Janeway would have loved to see. Thankfully, Jeri Ryan is returning as 7 of 9 in Star Trek, Picard Season 3, which should answer the lingering questions about 7 of 9's future in Starfleet.